Silvergate gone. Silicon gone. Signature gone. Janet Yellen says, everything's okay. Don't worry about it. HSBC buys Silicon UK. AMC shareholder meeting tomorrow. GameStop earnings up and coming. Quad witching. Bitcoin taking a run. Oh my gosh. What is going on? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, troops, wherever you are in the world, and welcome back to the channel. Mark, that's me. My words, as always, before getting to this very quick video, please continue to hit that subscribe button down there. If you do enjoy the content, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Here we are, troops. Monday, the 13th of March, 2023, the start of another trading week. And what a week it was last week. It was actually brutal in the market. And I'm just going to look at the charts quickly here because we all know what kind of week it was. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red days last week. Across the board, across the market, it was bleeding blood red. And that's some comfort for me, actually, troops, because it's not just limited to our favourite stonks. So I'll take that, actually, as it comes. But not much to say. I'm just going to look at the levels. AMC 502, we did test that 620, couldn't break back above it after we dropped down on the Monday, Tuesday. And we've been slowly getting hammered back down since then. I've got a little theory on this, actually, troops. I've seen some messages floating around that AMC Investor Relations have confirmed that if and when a reverse split takes place, APE will convert back to the price that AMC is currently trading at that time. Now, I think if that's the case, they want this as low as possible, they being nefarious actors in this space. They're going to try and drive this price as low as possible. So that's what I think is happening. They're trying to drive this down as low as they can. So if that 1-for-1 conversion takes place, it's going to be limited for those guys. They're not going to be as exposed as what they would be if it was trading at, let's say, where were we, $8.50 or whatever, $8.53. Then you're back up at $17 a share. Do you know what I mean? So that's one of my theories on their troops. Anyway, shareholder meeting tomorrow. I do believe that anything that is voted and approved won't come into effect until after this court case, which is looming. But if I'm wrong on that, please do let me know in the comments. If you know different, I would very much like to hear about it. APE, pretty much the same. A consolidation week and then an absolute sell-off on Friday, finishing down at 159. Not much to say on that. Again, just watching that for the conversion there, really. GameStop, again, we know that earnings is coming up 21st of March. After the close. So really, really excited to see what will go on there. We did have this head and shoulders marked out, which at the moment we've invalidated that, troops, if that being the tip of the head there. But we'll keep an eye on it because, you know, you never know. We may get something like that, a head forming, and it may take off, form another shoulder. It's all to play for, troops. We will see. I'm just seeing, actually, I forgot that it's day saving time in America, so it's pre-market already, and we are trading up 3.5% off of 794 shares. Interesting, troops. Anyway, let's get over to the news that has been going on. Obviously, if you are in this space, you are not going to be ignorant to what has gone on last week. Let's start with Silvergate first. A crypto focused bank absolutely went by the wayside. Gone. Announces voluntary liquidation. That was followed swiftly by the big one, Silicon Valley Bank, absolutely taken over by regulators on Friday. The FDIC has come in and said that they are going to make people whole over the weekend. From what I understand on that, this is what's going to happen. SVB have got assets in the form of government bonds. They are going to be sold off. The proceeds from those will go towards making whole the depositors. But as far as shareholders are concerned, and I believe there's some pretty big shareholders in there, BlackRock amongst them. I think JP Morgan are in there as well. They are going to get nothing. It's literally to pay off those that are holding funds in the account. So, individual bankers, individual customers. I don't know if SVB has individual customers, but certainly these tech startup companies, people that have put money into the actually holding cash in the bank, they're going to be sorted out. But as far as shareholders go, wah, 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 loser, loser. So no bailout as such, troops. Again, if you've got some different idea on that, do let me know in the comments. I'm all about learning. One thing I have learned this week is about hold to maturity bonds. Didn't know about those. So just being in and around this space, I'm constantly being educated. So they had these bonds which they were going to hold for 10 years. But with interest rates going up, they were losing value. And they had to sell some of those to cover the withdrawals that people were making. Obviously, they're not getting as much as what they were worth when they first bought the bonds. That gave them a shortfall of 1.8 billion. So they tried to raise capital and it just kind of snowballed from their troops. But this is apparent across a lot of banks where they hold these bonds which are losing money. Now, J-Pow this week, I think is it rate rise or rate information this week and CPI data coming out as well. He's now got to choose what's he going to do, because if he raises interest rates, that reduces the value of those bonds, which means the banks are going to have more unrealized losses. But he'll be fighting inflation, which is good for us, I guess. Or he doesn't raise interest rates. Because the banks are losing too much money, but that perpetuates the inflation. So I wouldn't want to be in his place. But again, troops, do you know what? They've made a rod for their own back on this. They printed so much money, pumped it in, 0% interest rates. Hey, there's people out there in and around this meme stock. I hate saying meme stock, but in and around our space, our investing space, that have been saying for a long time, at least 2 years, that this exact thing is going to happen. And the Fed have backed themselves into a corner that they are not going to be able to get themselves out of. So it's very, very interesting. Silicon Bank went up. And then on Sunday, Signature Bank was also closed down by regulators. That's very interesting. That's one to watch, how that is going to impact across the markets. This always makes me laugh. Janet Yellen says won't bail out Silicon Valley Bank and everything is okay. Don't worry. The financial market is strong and it's resilient. Isn't this the same woman that said inflation was transitory as well? I mean, come on. Like, she speaks out both sides of her mouth. Absolute fool. What a clown. And then to top it off, I've just heard news from the UK that HSBC is buying Silicon Valley Bank UK for the price of £1, taking approximately 3,000 customers with them, and a balance sheet worth £8.8 billion. So, with all that being said, troops, I am really, really looking forward to this week, just to see. Just the news is coming so fast, it's really hard to keep up with. But I'm absolutely excited for this week to see where the fallout comes. Most things I'm looking forward to are the AMC shareholder meeting to see what happens there. The run-up to GameStop earnings next week. Quad witching coming up as well. There's just so much stuff going on. It promises to be an exciting week. But there you go, troops. A little bit longer than usual for me, but a lot to talk about. Again, I'm happy to hear what everybody's thinking. What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Have I got something wrong? Always willing to learn. But with that being said, troops, as always, I do wish you all a great week. And as always, please do take care of yourselves and each other. And I'll see you in the next one. Whoo! Cheers, troops.